Spring has well and truly arrived at Kew Gardens, with delicate Japanese cherry blossom sitting behind the beautiful Victorian palm house. Everywhere signs that winter is over. Tucked away in a tiny corner of the 132-hectare site is Kew's community allotment. And what have we got in here?
So yes, we've got some broccoli growing here, some basil, some courgettes again, one of my favourites because of it.
Jerry Spencer's life today is a far cry from where he was a decade ago. He lost his home and ended up on the streets for 6 years.
It was a massive wake-up.
And what well and truly arrived,
as well as groundbreaking scientific and conservation work. But did you know that Kew is run with the help of over 700 volunteers? Our senior reporter Helen Drew went to meet one man whose life has been transformed through his passion for gardening.
Spring has well and truly arrived at Kew Gardens, with delicate Japanese cherry blossom sitting behind the beautiful Victorian palm house. Everywhere signs that winter is over. Tucked away in a tiny corner of the 132-hectare site is Kew's community allotment. And what have we got in here?
So yes, we've got some broccoli growing here, some basil, some courgettes again, one of my favourites because of it.
Jerry Spencer's life today is a far cry from where he was a decade ago. He lost his home and ended up on the streets for 6 years.
It was a massive wake-up call of what the streets are really like and how to survive on the streets. And basically with, you know, my addictions, I'm quite easily led and things, so yeah, I was drinking a lot, mostly all day long and evening the time as well, and then yeah, that's when the drugs come out, so I was doing crack and heroin as well.
During the COVID lockdowns, Jerry was relocated to a hotel room in Putney. He signed up for a course to learn new skills through a charity, and that included a trip to Kew. It wasn't until he arrived that his previous life as a gardener came flooding back to him.
There was a row of like tulip trees, and she went, "Oh yeah, there's the tulip trees," and then out of the blue I just said, "Oh, Leriodendron tulipifera," and I'm like, God, I remembered something in Latin, you know, like, God, I've got my brain going.
The member of Kew staff he was with that day was Jane Rogers, who's since taken Jerry on as a regular volunteer.
So at the moment I've got 9 volunteers, so I've got some absolutely brilliant people. One of my ladies used to make bulletproof vests for the police force, the Met Police. She's got a background in textiles, and then everybody else has come through as participants. So we've got some people here who have been homeless or had mental health issues, or people that are still going through medical things, but they're all people who are supremely helpful and empathetic and just loveliest people on earth.
Kew has over 700 volunteers, helping with everything from leading tours to supporting scientists.
Every day is a new day, and I'm actually clean and sober to be doing it. You know, I'm going into my 4th year now, so in November I'll be 4 years clean and sober. So when I was asked if I wanted to be a volunteer and get the uniform, I mean, I'm like really proud to wear it, do you know what I mean? It's like part of who I am basically, so yeah, I love showing it off, and just being again part of Kew is great.
The volunteers here are from all walks of life, their backgrounds as diverse as the plants they look after.
Well, I'm joined now by Desiree Shepherd, co-founder of Shepherd Star, which is the charity that took Jerry on that first trip to Kew. Hi Desiree, great to have you on the programme.
Thank you.
It's fantastic work that you're doing. Tell us a little bit more about your charity and how it works.
Shepherd Star was registered as a charity in 2021, coming out of the pandemic, and we have this vision of a world where people are connected, they're valued, and they are contributing member of society. And the heart behind what we do is that we have a belief in people. We are inclusive, we collaborate, and we have empathy for all. And with that heart behind what we do, we deliver 5 projects. And those 5 projects all have the ambition of connecting people, empowering with skills development, and equipping people with confidence.
So how do you find people like Jerry, or how do people like Jerry find you for that help and support? And obviously that's volunteering, but what about work, paid work, to help them as well move their lives along?
Yes. Jerry came on our flagship project, Explore, which is a self-development and skills introduction program. We work with a number of providers that deliver workshops, and the Q Access to Community Learning, the Q Community Access Scheme is one of the providers. We have other providers, the Richmond Furniture Scheme, we have Richmond Hillcroft Adult Community College, we have Crosslight Money Advice. So we have these experts coming in to deliver workshops, to bring in the people to go on the 6-week journey, meeting once a week, and we run 3 terms a year. We rely on referral agencies. Most of our referrals come in from the Job Centre, DWP, but then we have quite a number, a high percentage, I think it's 40% of our participants over the 3 years we've been running the program come from a drug and alcohol addiction. 25% come from a homeless background. So we rely on referrals coming into the program.
So you help find volunteering work for them that really, as we've seen for Jerry, has helped turn his life around.
Yes.
How do they start to earn money though? How do they find work?
Coming out of the program, which on the personal development pathway is at the very early stage. So the recruitment to bring people onto the journey is the most difficult, because this is the harder to reach people, trying to get them to believe in themselves, that they do have value, and of course they've got something to contribute. So to bring them into that learning space where they're willing to walk with them, seeing them start to flourish and grow, to get them to the point of week 6, where we then say there's all these wonderful opportunities, mostly to do the next step on the development pathway, always with the ambition of getting to someone into work.
Yes.
Always with that ambition to be financially independent. 86% end up moving into further study, training or volunteering. The smaller percentage is work.
Desiree, thank you. We talked about just a moment ago about how we get people out of work into work, and that's a priority for the government. Where does the government step in here, Deirdre, and help those people once they've changed their life's direction and they want to look for work?
Yeah, I mean, I think the number one thing that we've got to think about is there's 4,700 people living rough on the streets of London at the moment. That's the situation we were left with by the last government. So what we've done as a new government is we put £1 billion into tackling homelessness. I mean, that's the first thing that we've got to do. And then we've got to help those people to access employment.
And Steve Khan said everybody in, didn't he, during COVID, and that's actually changed Jerry's life around.
Yeah, COVID made a huge difference. In fact, we sort of solved homelessness during COVID, but the previous government then allowed it to go back up again. So that £1 billion will make a difference. Angela Rayner is actually in charge of our homelessness plan. She's the woman, I think, to sort this out on a cross-departmental basis, because it's about skills, it's about education, it's about jobs, it's about help for addiction.
Chris, it's amazing to see Jerry's story, isn't it? And once he got a little bit of support, he's managed to change his life around.
Yeah, it shows what a bit of support directed in the right way can achieve. And I think the work you're doing at Q is incredible and should be strongly supported across the political spectrum. But it also, I think, underlines the need for wider help for people who are on the street. Very often, I think people have, as you said, mental health issues, alcohol addiction, drug addiction. So making sure the right treatment is available is critical. So we're dealing with the root causes that end up with people being on the streets. So I think a combination of schemes like yours, but with that treatment and that help, is where we need to head.
Multiple agency.
Yeah, exactly. Desiree, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about